Of all your hits, was there one which took you by surprise?
Well, I suppose every song that was released as a single kind of took us as a surprise, I suppose. The height at which it climbed the charts anyway, because it's I mean, when you start out in this business and you're writing songs, it's like you're really hopeful that people will love them as much as you do. And so when any of them started to climb the charts, we were just thrilled. We were absolutely thrilled. I think we were delighted with the initial success of Runaway. Really, it was the song Dreams, when we did a remix of Fleetwood Mac's Dreams, that catapulted us.
Thunder only happens when it's raining.
You haven't been shy of doing covers of other people, which is unusual for a band in your position. I'm thinking of the THIN LIZZY song. What was it that struck you and you thought, we can do something to make it special to ourselves?
The girl's a fool, she broke the rules, she had him hard. This time he will break down.
Oh, well, do you know what? I love that song.
She's lost his trust and so she must know all is lost. The system has broke down.
And in particular, I loved the piano on it and the solo sections.
Romance has broke down.
The solo sections were really great.
This boy is cracking up. This boy has broken down. This boy is cracking up. This boy has broke down.
When we approached that song, it was important for us to be faithful to the original as well.
This boy is cracking up. This boy has broken down. This boy is cracking up. This boy has broken
I just thought the piano part was great on the original, so I kind of stayed fairly close to that. But it was great. It was a great success for us, and you know, what an amazing song. Because we still play it live. We'll be playing it live in Australia when we come out in February. We just love playing it.
As a producer, you're making constant decisions. So what was something specific that you contributed to the production of Forgiven Not Forgotten? Something which really worked a treat and you were happy with?
There was a lot of things that made it from pre-production right through to the actual production with David Foster, which was great, because we had spent an awful lot of time in this kind of small house where we'd built a studio. It was very close to the family house, and the girls used to come around to me every day. We spent an awful lot of time trying to perfect as best we could those tracks. So a lot of the pre-production made it onto the, because when we got to David Foster and we were playing the stuff for him, he liked it so much that he wanted to keep an awful lot of it and then embellish and improve, obviously, and do his thing, which he did magnificently, bringing the songs out from where we had taken them to the best of our ability. You know, when you haven't got an awful lot of experience, which we hadn't at the time, you really do need other people to kind of go, well, let's try it this way.
Watching her life go by.
And he was absolutely brilliant. Yeah, we're just delighted that our pre-production made it onto the main album, you know. I suppose we were a little bit surprised with that as well.
The subject matter is really quite bleak. It's hard to do a song about someone who's ended their life. Why did you want to tackle that?
Well, Andrea wrote the lyrics to that, so it's real. That's really a question for her.
Okay.
I'm not going to try and get into her mind in relation to that. So yes, so definitely, sometime when you get to interview Andrea, pose that question to her.
The video was shot on a rotating platform. Now,
Yeah.
usually it takes a full day at least to shoot a video like that. The band must have been feeling terribly giddy at the end of that day.
It was great fun. It was great fun doing that video, I have to say. And even the funky clothes that we got for it. Yeah, we probably were, but I mean, the turntable, the kind of the revolving floor that we were on, it wasn't going that fast. It was going, fairly slow, So, it wasn't as if we were being thrown off by gravity or anything like that. So yeah, we were able to deal with it.
Indeed. Now, the video for Love to Love You included a scene shot on an aircraft carrier. Now, I presume that just happened to be handy and you thought this is too stunning a prop not to use.
Yeah, the USS JFK, the John F. Kennedy aircraft carrier, came to Dublin, and it basically anchored in Dublin Bay. It was allowing people to come and visit it. Hundreds, if not thousands, of visitors came and visited it over the days that it was there. We got permission to come onto the ship. We were invited onto the ship, I think, actually. We got permission to shoot footage, and we just thought, here's an opportunity. There's a very unique opportunity on an aircraft carrier to get snippets for our videos. That was basically it. I don't know if it kind of gelled with the lyrics of the song, but still, it was something very unique to get, and so that's why we went for it.
Love to love you like you do me. I love to love you like you do me. But there's a pillar in my...
Breathless is one of your tracks that actually made it into the US Top 40, which is some achievement. And I believe the four of you co-wrote that song with the producer Mutt Lang, whom you only met for the first time when you sat down to write together.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it was Mutt's idea, and this is why collaborations can be great, because they can take you off in a direction that you might not necessarily have thought of yourself. So we went out to Switzerland to his amazing house and his amazing studio, and we wrote that with him and did our thing. And as always, when you're writing with other people, it can be difficult to kind of put our own style onto it. But we kind of had to make sure that of course, the violin was there and the traditional elements and all of that. What he brought to it was just amazing. I mean, his production is just it speaks for itself, Everything he touches turns to gold. I suppose we weren't that surprised when Breathless did as well as it did. We were delighted with the success of it.
When you got 5 people working together on a song, who comes up with the first idea?
It can depend who has written the nucleus or the foundation of the song. It could be chords. Generally, it'll start off with music. It could be a chordal progression will kind of inspire a melody, and that's the way that Andrea writes and Sharon writes as well. And once we have that fledgling idea, then we'll all come together and we'll contribute, and we'll turn it into we'll make it the best possible song that we can. And then, of course, once the producer gets his hands on it, he will take it to another level as well. That's how it works. It's teamwork, basically.
Talking of teamwork, Andrea, Sharon and Carolyn worked together on Runaway, wrote the song together, and they presented it to you to put together and help produce. How did they actually present the song to you? as a finished product or in development?
Yeah, it was Andrew and Caroline actually that presented the song to myself and David and Sharon in the studios in Malibu where we were working. I hope that has survived, by the way, with the fires in Cross Creek, I think it was. And it was towards the end of the recording of Forgiven Not Forgotten that they came to us with it, and just thought it was great.
Tell me you feel it too, and I would run away.
So we all then started to contribute to it, and David, of course, and turned it into what it is today. But yeah, it was towards the end of the recording sequence that they actually came to us with it, and what a brilliant song.
In the mid-90s, you had some success with it, and 3 years later you did a gentler version, and that was the one that went through the roof. Is that what happened?
Yes, I think we commissioned Tintin out to do a remix of it. So I don't think we actually recorded it again, but they did a remix, and then that got the single up to number 2 in the UK charts. And we were beaten only by Britney Spears' Hit Me Baby One More Time. Isn't that the song? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, got to number 2 there. So yeah, that was great. So it was good thinking to do a re-release of that.
You all took a decade off to raise kids. How did that time off change the group? What did it feel like to get back together after such a long break? And were you ready to pick up where you left off? Or was there a distinct change of direction?
Yeah, it was a significant period of downtime for us musically anyway. But we've always been, thanks to our parents, Jean and Jerry, we're all very family orientated. We just wanted to be there for our kids and to be very much part of their upbringing. And you can't do that if you're on the road constantly touring, you know. And it's just not fair to leave it to someone else. So, and I wanted to be as much of a hands-on dad as I possibly could with my son Brandon, and who's 18 now. Hard to believe how quickly the time passes. But that was the case for all of us, you know, just very family orientated. So when we did make a decision then to come back, it was, I suppose, a slight bit of trepidation, really. You know, is our fan base still going to be there? Because a lot can change within, 5-10 years. But thankfully, the fan base was still there. People who love us, and we just got such a buzz from coming back and performing live in particular. It's kind of like learning to ride a bike. Yes, the first 2 shows, and certainly when you get back into rehearsals and you haven't played certain songs in a long, long time, you nearly got to relearn them. Or especially the different sections, the chorus, the verse, blah blah blah. What comes next? So yeah, there'll be quite a few mistakes initially at the beginning of the rehearsals, but it comes together fairly quickly. And yeah, just look, we're very grateful to be able to come back after taking such a long hiatus and to such love from our fans.
How did you change in that decade?
How did I change in that decade? Well, hopefully I've matured. Some would say I haven't. Some would say I've regressed. But yeah, look, we're all, I believe that we're all here on, like, this is a school on Earth. You know, we're all Earth school. We're all learning, and we never stop learning until the day we die. And so I would hope that I've grown a little bit spiritually since then, and hopefully I'm a little bit wiser, but who knows, maybe it's the opposite.
Of all your hits, which is the one that the band looks forward to performing the most?
When you're performing the same songs night after night, from a band's perspective, you can sometimes get a little bit tired of them. So when you introduce a new song, as we did recently into the set, we introduced one of our older songs called Closer. We love playing that because it's relatively fresh for us. But I think, it's when you see audience interaction is very, very, very important. And so when you see the audience reacting as they do to the likes of Breathless, it's great. Or even, that's Runaway as well. I mean, sometimes with Runaway, Andrea doesn't even need to sing. She will, of course, but we can just let the audience sing the whole song. And it's wonderful to hear that.
You make it look so easy, but it's not always as it looks, especially when you're live. Is there a song or a section of a song that you know is coming and you worry a little bit that you mightn't get it absolutely right?
Oh, do you know what? You are taking me back to live performances that we did for an extensive tour of Australia. It might have been just after Talking Corners. And so I was doing some solo sections. And I used to get so nervous before them because it's me. It's this huge audience and spotlights on me and there's nobody else, because I love working as a team. I love working with other people. And it's funny. If you start to fear making a mistake, then you're going to make a mistake. And I did quite a few times. But you just got to carry on and move on and not get bogged down by it.
What do you remember doing? Playing the wrong chord, coming in at the wrong section, missing a verse?
No, I was playing quite intricate piano stuff, and I just remember hitting bum notes. And like as a musician, when you hit a bum note, most of the audience, the vast majority of the audience, won't even notice, if anybody notices. But the musician notices, and it just sounds like the biggest clangor ever. And you're thinking, oh my God, this has probably been recorded. And I just, what note did I hit there? But it's silly. We shouldn't get bogged down in these things, but we sometimes do.
Both your parents must have been so proud of all of you. How did they react when your careers began to take off?
Oh, look, amazing, because they witnessed, of course, firsthand the amount of effort, the energy that we put into trying to achieve success as a band and the sacrifices. And so when it first started to take off, I mean, our mother, Mother Jean, she was our greatest fan. And she used to bring a pair of earphones that would fit in her ear. Like they were like AirPods back in those days. And she would bring a radio with her into work so that she could listen to when our songs were being played on the radio. But they were just absolutely thrilled. And it was great that on the first album, we were able to give them as much of the experience as we could. In fact, we took them out to Australia with us, and they came to Cairns and Melbourne and Sydney. And they were just absolutely blown away by Australia and by the Australian people. And you might not know this, but we were nearly Australian. We were nearly Australian
Really?
Because our parents, when they got married, they were thinking about moving to Australia, and they were very, very serious about it and setting up a life for themselves over there. But between one thing and another, Dad had got a good job in the power company, the electricity supply board, so it didn't happen. But so we consider it to be our second home, so we really, really love getting out there.
Oh, well, it's terrific that you've maintained the Irish accent. If you'd become Australian, you wouldn't have had that.
True enough.
There is an obligatory question that everyone wants to hear you answer, and I know you've been asked 1,000 times. How do four siblings work together, travel together, write and perform together, and not want to wring each other's necks?
I know. Do you know, we are very lucky that we get on as well as we do. Now, of course, when you're traveling extensively, working so intensively together, and you're seeing the same faces day in, day out, it can become like a pressure cooker, and you might be missing things at home as well, whatever, just under pressure in general. And occasionally one of us can lose it, or two of us can lose it. And again, that's kind of like a release. It's very rare that happens. The thing is, at the end of the day, we're very respectful of each other. I have great respect for the girls and their amazing talent. They're brilliant. I feel very lucky to be able to perform on the same stage as them. And that's it, you know. What unifies us is our love of music and our love of performing. You know, that's primary. Everything else is secondary. And, you know, any arguments, budding arguments or anything that comes up that is of a negative nature, we just try to deal with it, iron it out and move on, you know.
Pretty well all of your songs, they've got to be sweet, they're melodic, they've got to have a great hook, some awesome phrasing, but there's also a lot of melancholy in the Corrs catalogue. Is that, in hindsight, an essential element of what makes a Corrs hit?
Well, it's not something that we set out to purposely manufacture. It's just something that is developed within our songwriting. You know, it's just when we sit down at the piano, whether it's the piano or the guitar, and it's just whatever feels good in terms of the chord progressions. That's the inspiration, and wherever that kind of takes us melody wise is also just we're kind of just going with the flow. But it's an interesting observation, I suppose, when you say that. But you'd hardly say that there'd be anything melancholic about Breathless. Do you know what I mean?
Go on, leave me breathless. Come on.
That's very much upbeat. But yes, I know what you mean. It is inherent within our songs, but it's not manufactured. It's natural.
That's beautiful, mate. You've given me a great interview, and I thank you so much for that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Lovely to meet you, and we'll hopefully see you out in Australia.
I should have got you to play something on the keyboard. I didn't notice that. Next time.
Next time.
Thank you very much, mate.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Cheers. You too.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.